Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video where today I want to talk about some new centenary details and also kind of the lack of centenary details. As yeah, there's been some wild stuff happening in the last couple of days that I want to get into, but before we get into it, if you could do me a teeny little favour and click that subscribe button, it'd be ever so much appreciated. We are trying to get to 16,000 subscribers by the end of the month and I think we could get there with your support. So feel free to subscribe if you are enjoying the content. Also go follow me on Twitter if that is your prerogative, a link to which will be in the description below, and I have a PO box which you can see on screen. Hence the packages in the background which I will be opening in my next video. But with that said, let's get into the video. So yeah, as you may or may not be aware, the latest issue of Doctor Who magazine's cover has been circling across social media. This is due to the fact that Panini, who publish the Doctor Who magazine as far as I'm aware, leaked the cover of the edition earlier than the BBC wanted. And this has led to people reposting it, talking about it, etc. And what's especially interesting about this is not only the cover itself, which we'll get to, but also the response of the BBC to people talking about this cover. So I think I am going to show the cover on the basis that not only has it been reposted everywhere anyway, despite obviously, them being pleased from the BBC to take it down, at the end of the day, once something on the internet, people know it exists, you've probably already seen it, so I don't really think I'm running much of a risk here. Also, as you'll see in just a moment, I don't really know why this in particular was decided to be taken down. So in 3, 2, 1... here you can see the Doctor Who magazine cover that the BBC doesn't want you to see. It depicts Jodie Whittaker, John Bishop and Mandip Gill on the front of Doctor Who magazine in their orange spacesuits, which is especially interesting considering that we've seen two of these characters already in the orange spacesuits, being Jodie and John, through other promotional material, Mandip being the only one we hadn't seen in the costume before now. And the issue details a giant double-sized poster, one of which you can see is literally an image we've seen before, and the other, admittedly, it's a new image, but obviously it's in so low quality that you can't even tell what it is yet fully. Obviously it's sort of a Star Wars pastiche, I guess, sort of one of those types of covers. It looks really nice from what we can see. And then it says inside a 28-page supplement, plus a Big Finish download. And then exclusive interviews from John Bishop, Chris Chibnall, Mandip Gill, and Jodie Whittaker bid farewell. The final countdown, so the final countdown to the centenary. From what I understand, this is supposed to come out on the 13th, so I guess this will be just over a week before, about 10 days before the broadcast of the centenary itself. So yeah, that makes sense as a tagline, which I must admit also makes the secrecy surrounding this cover even more strange, because it's only coming out in a week, if that is to be believed. I've only heard that from secondary people though, so I can't confirm either way. And there is also a TARDIS diorama featured, which is apparently to do with the Season 2 box set releasing in November. So yeah, I think it's pretty safe to assume, and I think you'll agree with me, this is not a major spoilery issue for Doctor Who magazine, at least the cover. But despite that, this has been requested to be taken down by the BBC specifically. Now, this is really interesting because, as I've said before, it's not really something that has that many details on it, and all it was really doing was generating more hype and excitement among the community, who admittedly have been pretty starved for content when it comes to the centenary in particular. So I really don't get why you would get this taken down, and obviously, just so you know that I'm not making this up, this is from a friend who posted the magazine issue themselves. They had a DM from Doctor Who magazine saying, "Hello, sorry to ask, but can you delete your tweet with the cover of Doctor Who magazine 583, please?" The BBC got in contact and not cross because they didn't want the image seen till next week. Thanks for your help. Peter Ware, Deputy Editor, Doctor Who magazine. I am not taking any personal, pot shots at anyone in Doctor Who magazine or BBC in particular. I'm just commenting on how I find this strategy intensely odd. I would get it if the entire issue got leaked. If the entire issue got leaked and basically everyone could read it online before the magazine came out, yeah, that would be a cause for concern because, Doctor Who magazine lives and dies by people reading their exclusives. I get that. But the cover? The cover didn't really give anything major away about the episode. The issue, obviously, it tells us what's in the issue, but not much of that was surprising. Interviews at the end of an era, yeah, that makes total sense. This is the last issue to do with this era, so it makes total sense that there would be interviews with the cast at this point. And there are a couple other nice goodies like posters and a TARDIS diorama, but was that really worth getting it taken down over? Now, the main reason I've seen as to why the BBC could be doing this is because they want to fit all of their centenary broadcasting material for 2 weeks before broadcast. They want it to happen all around the same time. But what I would say to that is, does Doctor Who magazine's cover being leaked a few days early really hamper the other centenary broadcasting stuff that much? Was it going to kill anyone that people had seen, Jodie, Mandip and John in some orange spacesuits? I think it just comes across as especially funny when you have Russell T Davies out here talking about Series 15 like it's nothing. Meanwhile, Doctor Who magazine and like, the BBC are like, no, they can't see the orange spacesuits. Their brains will melt. Avert your eyes, wee children. It just comes across as really strange. And as I said, it's kind of hampering the excitement surrounding the centenary, more so than it is assisting in it. I'm all for, secrecy to an extent. I think it can work in certain instances. When it is just people looking at a cover, like, come on, it's not really doing that much harm. I don't think, anyway. And I think people wouldn't be as frustrated about this had it not been for what I think a lot of people are seeing as a very lackluster campaign for not only Doctor Who's centenary special, but just the centenary in general, as in the centenary of the BBC that the Doctor Who special is tying into. And like, I've seen a lot of people say that this is just how the BBC operates now, and I very much believe that's the case. But it's particularly strange in Doctor Who's case because of how well and how big previous Doctor Who specials, particularly regenerations, were made to be. End of Time got a Comic-Con panel and a trailer at Comic-Con. I'm pretty sure Peter Capaldi's final episode also got a trailer at Comic-Con. So in comparison, the Jodie Whittaker regeneration episode has got to be one of the most low-key regeneration episodes we've ever had in terms of the way it's been pushed, which is really, really strange. This is only being continued by the fact that it is essentially all but being confirmed that Jodie Whittaker, Mandip Gill, Doctor Who will not feature on the Graham Norton show releasing on the 21st of October. They've released their scheduling up till the 21st of October. Graham Norton's been released. No sign of Jodie Whittaker anywhere. Now, they could be hiding a special Doctor Who guest appearance for later. They could be a surprise reveal that they actually do have that. But if they don't, that's exceedingly odd, because Doctor Who famously always has a slot in that Graham Norton show when they have big stuff going on. There's probably like a dent in the sofa from all the Doctor Who stars that have sat on it. Like, it's exceedingly strange if they've missed this opportunity to market the centenary once again. If the Graham Norton show will come and go without even a mention of it. It's so strange. And as I said, this isn't just a normal episode of Doctor Who. Like, I've seen a lot of people compare it to, well, Legends of Sea Devils only got its sort of promotional stuff kicking in until 2 weeks before. And it's like, yeah, but like, this is such a bigger episode. It's a feature-length episode, the ending of an entire era, the first time the Daleks, Cybermen, and Master have been seen on screen all together in the revival. It's featuring the return of 2 classic companions. This should be a huge deal, and it just sort of isn't. It's really, really strange. And I just don't really get why it's not. It almost feels like they're trying to hide it at this stage. Like, it feels really odd. And even with the lesser promoted regeneration stories, with Time of the Doctor, for example, so you don't think that I'm leaving it out. In that case, we literally had this 50th a month before, so there was still plenty of hype around Doctor Who. So you could afford to do a slightly later trailer for Time of the Doctor, because we had things like Day of the Doctor, Night of the Doctor, Adventure in Space and Time, Live the Next Doctor. Remember that with Peter Capaldi? Like, there were so many other things going on at that time that it kind of made sense to push a trailer for Time of the Doctor back a bit. But that's not the case here. We've not had anything really Doctor Who-wise since April in terms of actual on-screen content. So it's not exactly like we're flooding with information. At this stage, we really should be getting stuff. We should be getting it on Graham Norton. It's a big deal, And I just think it's exceedingly strange. And also, when you consider as well, Jodie Whittaker, whether you like her or not, she's a very significant incarnation, being the first female incarnation ever. That regeneration story should be getting way more than it is. And then meanwhile, we have this. We have Ncuti Baftas appearing at BAFTA Cymru on the 31st of October. And it's just like, it feels like Ncuti is already getting more public appearances than Jodie ever got. And it makes me thankful that we're going into a new era, an RTD era, where I don't think this will happen. I don't think we'll be getting to 2 weeks before broadcast not knowing when the release date is. I just can't see it happening. And it's just kind of mental to me. But yeah, I'm very happy to see Ncuti go to the BAFTAs, though. I'm looking forward to seeing him there. I love seeing him out, and about and stuff, and I think I'm just really excited for his era in general. But yeah, this whole weird marketing situation is just ridiculous. It's not like we're months away. I kind of got the arguments, when we were 2-3 months away from broadcast, and people were like, well, you got to give them time. We are now about, just over 2 weeks from broadcast, and we don't know when the thing's officially coming out. It's just a bit strange. And obviously, this whole thing of, the Doctor Who magazine being taken down, fans being requested to take it down. We've had other outlets like SFX basically saying that they've been strung along for ages waiting for information on this stuff. At a certain point, you've sort of got to look at it and go, something ain't right here, you know? It's very strange. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about all this. This is kind of just my reaction to the general stuff that's been going on. It's been kind of wild. There's been some great memes surrounding it though, to be fair. So that's fun. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. Like this video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you later.